Good morning, everybody. This is Janine Capiso, the tomato lady, in my garden, August 3rd or 4th. Can't remember. We're looking at the path. We got Russian sage on one side, and we got this wonderful grapevine on the other side with my greenhouse in the background. This grapevine is all the way 30 feet. It happens to just be one plant. It's been here for, I don't know, 15 years. It provides us with a lot of grapes. We love these grapes. They're called Himrod, and they're just wonderful. And I love walking through this arbor that's covered and coming out into my garden. And this is a big view of the garden right now. And there's my dog. And then over here we have, this is comfrey. Two kinds of comfrey, in control and out of control. I bought the one that's out of control. I didn't mean to, I didn't know. And then there are some zinnias coming on right now, and they're beautiful. And then I have rhubarb over there in the corner. And that's on the left side of my entry. On the right side of my entry, we have our little gnome. A friend of mine brought it from Germany. And I have all these lovely flowers just starting to come on. And these mounds here, as you can see, just mounds and mounds of plant will become total yellow and orange flowers, depending on what it is. And it is called Gem, G-E-M, marigold. And it will be filled with it by the end of August. It'll just be an unbelievable color. On the teepee, I do have growing some emerite beans all around it. It's hard to see amongst all the other foliage. And on the back side of the grape, I have leeks that are, some of them are blossoming, fennel, and then you go on down. I have more flowers down there, which I grow on the back side of that grapevine. I have cosmos here. Wonderful. There's volunteer flowers. Some of them volunteer. All of these actually were volunteer. This is amaranth, and I have one datura that's a volunteer as well. And datura, I found out a long time ago, it grows where it wants. You can't control it, but you can hack it back if that's what you want. But it produces such a beautiful flower. Then on this side, this whole bed here is my cold frame bed, and it was covered with shade cloth, 30%. I'll show you that in a minute. And it was covered with row cover on top of that to provide enough relief from the heat. I have carrots in here, radishes in here. I've already started succession planting with more radishes and more carrots in there. Chard's in here still. Chard goes great in the summer. And then some beets, more beets. And on the other side, this side was full of cauliflower. I think 6 to be exact. And I cut them off, except for 2 of them, which were not ready. And so here they are. This is called a Violetta from Italy. And they're not ready yet. But the rest were ready, so we cut them off. We grilled them. We did all kinds of stuff. We ate them. And coming around here, there's the back side again of the grapevine. And now I come around to this fence, and this is the blackberry fence, and it goes blackberries all the way to that tall arbor that you see up in the corner. And the blackberries are coming along. A couple of them are black. Getting there. We're almost ready to pick them, but they must come off loosely. If they still hang on, then you don't want to pick them yet because they're not at their ultimate sweetness. And that goes all the way down here. Here's my drip system here, covered up. Here's all it is, 5 sections. More blackberries along here. You notice this is the shade cloth. This is it. And I pulled everything back so you could see it. Shade cloth is great for plants like this, or plants that can't handle the intense sun, which is a lot of plants here. But and then the other stuff is this netting, hail netting. Okay, and I believe I got my shade cloth at johnnyseeds.com, I got my hail netting at Amazon. Hail netting will keep hail from destroying your crops. This bed is mostly peppers except for one row of beans. I've got 18 peppers in here. They're not all different, but I probably have 14 different ones. And some of them are really ready right now. This is not a shishito. This is a paseo bajío from Mexico. And then some are hot. Some are not. They're not supposed to be too terribly hot, but I think some are. In this row here is a bean I got from a friend in Germany, my dear friend Lava. And she's the one that turned me on to the lava red pepper that I've been growing out for years. And it produces some of the biggest, most gorgeous peppers that you will see. I don't know if you can see in there, but they're going to be big, and they turn red, and they're sweet. I try not to go too many hot. This bed with this little artwork, I'm a glass artist, is the strawberry beds with an arbor in the middle and another strawberry bed on the end. I just took off the row covers from the tomatoes, and I still even have some. You can see a pile of it down there. And I have to tie some up. I have to put straw under these. These ones don't have straw. I ran out, but I have it now. And so I'm hoping I'm not making a mistake by taking it off before the monsoons comes, because I just heard last night the monsoons might not come in August. And that's kind of the end of the monsoon. So we might get a rain here and there, but not enough. So I hope the leafhopper has moved on, and that's good. So there's a double bed of tomatoes here, and you can see they're already taller. They're 6 feet tall. And then this shorty bed here, and I had hoops over it. I had it covered, and this is a 3-foot cage, and this is a dwarf tomato. Moby, it's called Moby. And it's doing well, and it produces really wonderful, kind of larger sized cherry tomatoes. Yellow, bright yellow. In this bed over here, we have some, I'm in the sun, we have some really beautiful tomatoes coming on here, and there's different varieties. I have 29 plants. Here's another one. This one is, I'm in the shade, hang on, go this way. Coming on, so I could pick that one another day. Try to beat the squirrels to it. Another one, pretty dense in here. I'm gonna have to cut out some of that, or else it might get some kind of fungal disease. It's so compact, and because I just took them off, it is compact, but it'll loosen up too. Back side of those, this side here, this bed again. I have this hailcloth or shade netting on almost everything. They're not on my tomatoes yet, because I just took them off, the row covers, but they will be before the end of the day. And these are beans that I'm growing for a guy out in the East Coast, Northeast, and his name is William Woes Weaver, and he collects rare seeds, and he's given me, I'm one of his growers. I grew a few of his plants out this year. I'm growing beans for him, so it's sort of a beany kind of year, as I say, out here, even more than a tomatoey. And then this is more of that tomato patch, and this is the borage. And I don't know if you can see the insect activity, but they really attract the insects, the pollinators. This bed here, here's my bench on the right side. These are cucumbers. 3 kinds. One here is growing, coming along rather slowly. This one here is coming along really good, and that's a Parisian, which will be made into cornichons, little tiny tart pickles. And this one here is bread. I make bread and butters with it, and it's Boothby's blonde. It is a blonde sort of what do you call it? Cucumber. More tomatoes. I think it's better if I do this with my shadows in it. I have lots of different cherry tomatoes and lots of different slicers. Now I go into my last section, section 3. Here it is. And in section 3, I have honeyberries. This is a honeyberry, and this is a honeyberry. It grows in the Northwest, doesn't grow here, but I've managed to do it. It's the 3rd year, and I got about 12 berries from it. And it's in replacement of blueberries, because you can't grow blueberries here. our soils to alkaline, and blueberries like acidic soil. Here I have some struggling, really struggling, but it is trying to come back. A salmon berry. I hope it makes it. Actually, I had to pay for that, and it didn't do good in the heat. Then this whole row is one of my pride and joys besides tomatoes, and that's raspberries. All the way up. It's going to be 35, 40 feet of raspberries, and we will have tons and tons. Now you see all these beds here. Okay, first bed here, I have some kohlrabi. They're little round spaceships that grow on top of the ground. And then I have this really unusual thing. I've never grown it. The cage is over because I'm going to put that hailcloth on it. And this flower, this here, is a black garbanzo bean. Fairly rare, but I got it from a grower here in the Santa Fe area. I think he's in Milwaukee. And it has, as you can see, it's starting to produce. Those little round things will be the garbanzo beans. Can't wait. They're black on the outside, and I understand that they are regular color on the inside. Next bed here's tons of zucchini squash. I just got done picking up any adults, any eggs. I didn't find any babies, those little gray nemesis of ours. But, you know, the battle will be on. I will have to come out here every week, every 7 days, and pick off those things. And I have on it, because it likes, I have on it the shade cloth, and this zucchini tends to wilt in the middle of the day, and also some row cover. So this is just off so you can see the plant. And we actually have a few. We picked some, and most of these are male flowers. All of these are males. There's a female, one down there. Anyways, that's the zucchini. They'll be wilting in another hour if I don't get this covered. This is another side of tomato plants. And like you see, they're so tall already. But I have to put the netting on it. That netting that you're looking at will be over here on every tomato patch, every bed, to protect it from hail. Then for William Wool's Weaver, I call him W3, I have some beans growing here. These are wild pigeon beans, and you can't buy it in a store, and I guess it's pretty rare. And so I'm growing it out for him to collect the seeds. These are dry beans, and give them back to him so that we can continue keeping the seed viable. You know, seeds only have so long a life expectancy. And so you have to, every once in a while, especially if you have rare ones, you got to have people or yourself grow them out so that you have really good seed every year. This bed here is not a bean. It is called Big Red Zipper. Big Red Ripper, excuse me, and it is a cowpea. And it is gorgeous when it comes out. It has about a 12-inch length pod, bright red with red, maroonish cowpeas inside. This one here is not from William, but it's a big lima bean, a butter bean, and it comes from Italy. And I can't remember the first name, but the last name is Pintat, which means paint, and it is a huge white bean with red. And then the Spanish, it comes from Spain. The Spanish put it in their paellas, which I can't wait. I have to show you some of these berries, folks. Different stages of ripening. As you can see, they're just coming on. We just got a half of a tray. And that goes all the way up to there. Then here, this covered bed, used to grow giant pumpkins in it. No more, too much water it takes. So now I'm growing butternut squash. And I got 4 plants in here, and they'll all produce an abundance of butternut squash. Over on this bed is a seed I've been wanting for a long time from William, and I finally got some. And this is called Rouge de Paris, and you just can't find it. You can't buy these at seed company stores, catalogs online. Okay, so he has a seed company. I don't know if he sells any of these varieties. Maybe not, because they're more of the rare ones. But anyways, that's I get to keep a few of everything. There's a benefit for all this. Then this plant here is the hops plant. And that thing that looks like a snake is a gourd. This used to be a big arbor. I grew giant gourds, and the contest was how tall can they get. So you get them up on the top and you have them fall straight down, and then you measure them and you might win a state record or something. That one got stuck, but I like it. I don't really know what I'm doing with hops. We have them. They grow every year. We get a few hops, not many. I've really got to do my research on how to make them really successful. They're successful, but they don't produce a lot of hops. So that is it. This is the garden again for in August. I think it's August 3rd, maybe 4th. And the garden's looking great, and you know, I really love it when I have all the cloths down and I can enjoy it. And I can water right through the cloths too, so I don't have to like take them down. This is strictly for show and tell. Okay folks, that's it. Happy gardening. Oh, and as far as taking out the row covers for my tomatoes, I did it today because I think I said this already. We might not get any monsoons this year, and I'm not going to keep them covered the whole time. I only kept them covered to keep the leaf hopper, this bug that bites them and can kill them, away. And I'm hoping he's gone by now. But we'll see. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the tour.